There's only one way to build a championship business. Brick by brick, step by step, dream by dream.
Yeah! Our bar is very high. We are focused on being the best. When you mirror academics with great facilities, you have a chance to compete.
This man kept a promise he made decades ago.
But more importantly for me now, I look forward to the start of next year's basketball season.
It changed the business of basketball at St. Louis University, and now even the ultimate return is in reach.
Sky's the limit.
We're looking for a victory. I believe everybody here believes we can win the national championship within a reasonable period of time.
How have all the pieces come together? And with one goal in sight, how do the broader goals remain in focus?
We're here to educate, compete, and build community.
Join us behind the scenes of one of college basketball's most promising programs. St. Louis in the spotlight, this week on Sportfolio.
Hi, I'm Rick Haro, and welcome to Sportfolio. We're here on the campus of St. Louis University, where expectations are sky high for the men's basketball team. But we came here with one question. How does a mid-sized university with no football put together a championship caliber hoops program? The answer starts right here.
I believe St. Louis University is a hidden gem. A lot of people don't even know about St. Louis University. Sometimes I get asked where it's located. I mean, that's how unknown the school is in many circles.
Here are some generally known facts about St. Louis University. It's a Jesuit school with about 8,000 undergraduates on a compact campus in the heart of the city. Its distinctive mascot is the Billiken. Last year under Coach Rick Majerus, the men's basketball team won 26 games and nearly upset Michigan State in March to advance to the NCAA Sweet 16. The team won 15 out of 16 games on its home court, Chaifetz Arena. The 10,000-seat on-campus facility opened in 2008.
Chaifetz Arena has been just it's been sort of transcendent for us.
It's transformative. It really is. I mean, it takes our programs to that next level.
How important is the Chaifetz Arena to give you the ability to do your job?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, it's astronomical.
It changed the game we're playing in, and it clearly put us in a position where we can compete nationally.
Funding for the $81 million arena was secured through a combination of bonds, tax increment financing, and fundraising. The largest donation was a $12 million naming gift from Dr. Richard Chaifetz, St. Louis University class of 1975. Dr. Chaifetz graduated with a degree in neuropsychology. In 1984, he founded ComPsych, a company that would make his fortune and eventually make quite an impact on the fortunes of SLU basketball.
ComPsych provides employee assistance programs worldwide. We cover 53 million people in 120 countries. We have 17,000 customers, ranging from tiny companies up to companies that have 400,000 or 500,000 employees, and we're the largest provider of EAP services in the world.
Tell us how you turned your scientific expertise into a business empire.
Well, it's an interesting story. I always had plans to do more than just practice as a neuropsychologist. So my original plans and my original business was I opened up psychological service centers around the city and then throughout the Midwest. The market began to change. I saw that coming in terms of how reimbursement was for healthcare. And I saw that companies really had the need to provide services to their employees in a very similar way, but they weren't doing it in a broad-based fashion. They were doing it for drug and alcohol. I knew people's problems went far deeper than that.
And you also focus on behavioral health programs.
We are very concerned about performance at work, and that's why companies buy the services that we offer them. It keeps people, distraction-free. It helps them with depression, helps them with drug problems, helps them with family problems. We even have concierge services and other things to keep people focused and an optimal performance. So it ties into the whole sports, theme as well. Optimal performance leads to optimal outcomes.
The story about how Dr. Richard Chaifetz became ComPsych chairman Richard Chaifetz is truly instructive. But the story of why he gave $12 million to his alma mater for an arena is inspirational.
It so happened that my parents were divorced, and I found out one day from the bursar's office that my tuition hadn't been paid. I thought I had to deal with my father, that he was going to pay my tuition. They called me down and told me I basically had to leave the school because my tuition was not paid for several months. I said, well, what can I do about that? They said, you got to go see the president. I went to see Father Reinhardt, who was the president at the time. And I pled my case and told them I was a great student and school meant a lot to me and I was going to be successful and I'll pay back the tuition. And I also told them that I had enough confidence in what I'd be doing in my life that I'd also pay back the school in some way. Never to the extent I thought I would do it like this, but he looked at me, he said, "Rich, I believe in you and you take as much time as you need. You're the kind of student we want here." And I paid back the tuition that summer when I worked. And when I went to school here, sports were very important to me. I didn't have any money, and it was the things that I spent my time doing, going to the basketball games, the soccer games, the hockey games, etc. And the opportunity came to put my name in the arena, and it just melded the multiple things together for me.
Why not call this building the ComPsych Center?
Well, because the experience that I had at St. Louis U was a personal experience, and my commitment to pay back was personal. I wanted to put my personal name on it, and I think it's not just for me, it's for my kids and my family, and I think it demonstrates that you follow through on your commitments, and it's more connected to me that way.
Prior to 2008, the Billikens played in downtown St. Louis at the Scott Trade Center, a location that did little to foster excitement and even less to generate revenue.
It was a hockey arena that we played basketball in.
When we were at Scott Trade Center, we basically paid a rental fee to the facility. The building actually kept all the parking, the concessions. That was not included in any deal that we had. What we do have now is that we've noticed we have what's called a per capita revenue that comes in through parking, concessions, t-shirt sales. We have that at about $5.47 a person. You know, we average 7,200 people per game throughout an 18-game schedule. That can add up pretty quickly.
Compared to St. Louis's last 3 seasons at Scott Trade Center, revenue from men's basketball ticket sales has grown by 83%. Net sponsorship revenue has shot up more than 271%. Total giving to the men's basketball program has increased by 157%.
One of the revenue potentials that we found when we opened the arena was that we were able to have donation-based seating. And that can account for upwards of another $1 million in revenue.
We have 14 suites that we're able to market to the community, and we have some wonderful St. Louis partners that are part of the program now that have suites.
All the concourse signs, all of the in-game information that you find around, anything that is able to be sold as a corporate sponsorship piece is ours as athletics to be able to generate for the university.
But much of what Chaffetz Arena has done for the school and its sports programs can't be measured in money.
It's a central point where everyone can come together and really get behind the team.
Our student section is actually made to be a student section. It's bleacher seating, kids are standing, they're loud, you know, they've got this little oar that says SLU, you know, and they bang it on the bleachers, and they've really created their presence, their role.
Since it's on campus, I mean, it's just right by the dorms, and so kids come. It's part of their college experience. We got a tremendous band, so it's a fun environment. When they're having fun, you're having fun.
The Billikens entered the preseason ranked in or near the top 25 in most national polls of coaches and media. They were picked to finish second in the Atlantic 10 Conference. Their ranking might have been even higher if head coach Rick Majerus had not left the team in August to deal with a serious heart condition. On December 1st, Majerus passed away at age 64. When we visited St. Louis in November, the coach's health cast a shadow over an otherwise bright outlook.
I miss Rick a great deal. We were very, very close friends, and I miss it. And the positive is he built a great foundation here. Rick did what he did to get us where we are, and now we move forward from there.
Under interim coach Jim Cruz, who Majerus personally recruited to his staff, the Billikens still anticipate a strong season and a tournament berth. And then, who knows?
We want those expectations. That's what winners are made of. Our bar is very high.
No one here believes we're going to win the national championship this year, but I believe everybody here believes we can win the national championship within a reasonable period of time. And you set that goal and you go for it, and we're putting the pieces in place to eventually get there.
When we come back, I'll take a guided tour of Chaffetz Arena, guided by Dr. Richard Chaffetz. This is truly his home court.
First of all, what's with the hairdo?
I don't know. Does that look like me?
More from St. Louis University when Sportfolio returns. Imagine you're running a business from a network of offices and you decide to consolidate into one single campus. Of course, you'd expect increase in profitability and productivity, but you'd also hope to generate pride and cohesion that really can't be quantified. That's exactly what Chaffetz Arena has done for SLU athletics, and no one is prouder than Richard Chaffetz.
So you know every square inch of this building, don't you?
Backwards and
Basically.
forwards, Rick. Backwards and forwards.
Walking through Chaffetz Arena with Dr. Richard Chaffetz is a complex experience. There's the benefactor with a bronze bust in the main concourse.
First of all, what's with the hairdo? What is
I don't
that?
know. Does that look like me?
And there's the sports fan who interacts easily with every student athlete.
Here's my man who is Cody. What's going on?
You were proud papa opening night, weren't you?
Sure. Oh, yeah. It was great.
I mean, it was, and I'm sure the best thing was to look at the students' reaction when they first came in here for the first time.
You know,
to see some of the students.
They were going ballistic. Yeah. And they were cheering my name. I mean, it was very humbling.
I'm sure it felt really good.
Dr. Chaffetz, Dr.
That was
Chaffetz.
really cool.
Oh, yeah.
Totally cool.
Yeah. And they did it all year.
Yeah.
I mean, all year.
Where are you from?
California, Sacramento area.
Oh, so you came a long way.
Yeah.
It wasn't the weather that attracted me.
Yeah, really.
Here we have
All right, so volleyball practice or
yeah,
volleyball
well, this is
game,
our
volleyball
practice courts, and they obviously have the women's volleyball team practicing here. We have a pretty good volleyball team, too, women's team. I'll tell you a name you will know.
Okay.
Pat Leahy.
Oh,
Does that ring
yeah,
a bell?
Of course.
Kicker for the Jets?
Yeah.
Soccer player at St. Louis U.
Wow.
There is no basketball program of any sort of substance here, so it allows these sponsors to get affiliated with a sport. It has pretty good reach. And, you know, not only do we have athletics here, but we have world-class concerts and events, so those sponsors are getting exposure across a variety of audiences, not just people coming to athletic events.
Certainly, the coaches and athletic staff appreciate how Chaffetz Arena is designed and fitted out to fill their needs.
It's an underwater treadmill. It's about 6 feet deep on the deep end, and it's 5.5 feet deep on the treadmill end. And where the treadmill is at, we can do non-weight-bearing exercises on that. So our student athletes are up, you know, like their head or neck is just above the water.
And that's pretty unique in the country. There are not too many people that have this, right?
There's on this level, there's not that many people that have this technology on our Division I college level.
Chaffetz Arena, when it came online in 2008, it changed everything for our programs. It gave us office space that was updated and current, and just gave people an opportunity to have a modern weight room so that we were able to support our student athletes both from their competition standpoint, but also then educationally, having a classroom space, having tutor rooms, having a study hall area.
While walking through the tunnels, we run into the university president, Father Lawrence Biondi. He's overseen some $800 million in capital expansion during his 25-year tenure at St. Louis. Athletics has been central to his vision for growth.
You know, the Jesuit order has been around since about 1540, and one of the big phrases we use is mens sana in corpore sana, meaning a healthy mind and a healthy body, and that's what we're all about. So sports does play an integral part.
Sports really can have some economic benefits to a school as well.
Well, we're not Notre Dame. We're not getting $5 million a season for football. We're not going to begin football.
Right.
So I want to be on the record for that.
We're not. Nobody's asking you to be in football.
We're going to
You're in pretty good shape with basketball.
We are. We are.
A glassed-in practice court, a team store, an athletic Hall of Fame display. All of these features contribute to the game day experience at Chaffetz Arena, and most can be monetized. Another amenity that returns value, Lorenzini's, a restaurant and lounge that's a game day hub for the Billiken Booster Club.
It's open 2 hours before the game, so we have a great group of Billiken Club supporters, fans that gather in Lorenzini's for dinner and drinks beforehand. I'll be popping, back and forth, saying hi to people.
So I think the facility absolutely, has that ability to bring people in, and once they get in, they're going to have a good experience. And so then once they have that good experience, they want to come back, they bring their friends, they tell their friends, and it just becomes, that real rallying point.
I assume you find it easier to convince a kid from some other country to come play in St. Louis when he sees this building.
No question. That doesn't make any difference if they're from St. Louis or they're from Auckland. When they come and they see the commitment to facilities coupled with the academic background that they can get here, it's a win-win for them. And so we couldn't have done it without the facilities, and clearly we're in a position to make a major run with them.
Financially and operationally, Chaffetz Arena gives St. Louis University a home court advantage. And if those resources can translate into victories on the court, the Billikens can take a quantum leap as an athletic program. Coming up, preparation meets execution. And why are people here talking about a national title?
We think we can play with anybody. We line up every day against the best. And so Does it give you a vision that you can execute on? Absolutely.
In sports business parlance, the Atlantic 10 is known as a mid-major conference, a notch below football and basketball powerhouses like the SEC and ACC in their ability to generate revenue and win championships. But that might be changing.
We think we can play with anybody. The league is right positioned, right behind the BCS programs. We line up every day against the best. And so, does it give you a vision that you can execute on? Absolutely.
The Atlantic 10 sent 4 teams to last year's NCAA basketball tournament. This year it welcomed 2 new member schools, Butler and VCU, who have recently made it to the Final Four.
The amount of money we actually receive from the A10, a lot of it has to do with the NCAA revenue that's generated off the men's basketball tournament. And you get additional payments based on how well you do in the tournament. And then the more success the league has, so the more teams you have in the tournament, the more money that goes into the entire pot.
A10 schedule, a lot tougher than it has been before. It's a trade-off. Harder games, record harder to come by. If you win the championship, RPI better chance, better seeding in the tournament. How do you feel about this?
Competition's good. Competition good. It makes you better in every regard.
With a new television deal that'll increase revenue and exposure, and the likelihood of larger March Madness payouts based on tournament wins, it's a good time to be a member of the Atlantic 10.
What that television agreement brought to us is the exposure. The dollars would be great, but where we are in our position, we need the national exposure.
Great, let's go. The man who's taken Rick Majerus' seat on the St. Louis bench is Jim Cruz, a 25-year head coach at Evansville and Army, who was brought here by Majerus a year ago.
It was kind of the luck of the draw, but also a little bit of Rick's pre-planning that he called Jim to come and be the coach.
Rick had lost an assistant 3 days before the season. We had moved up to Indianapolis. He was kind of pinching, you know, I was kind of just doing a little of this and a little of that, and so for 6 months, hey, come on over, just coach ball, and I've always enjoyed his company and how he goes about things, and Rick really treated me well. You know, fans or administrator, anyone you run, it just really treated you well. So it's really a unique and special situation.
With a resume that includes 2 national titles as a player and assistant at Indiana under Bob Knight, Cruz has the credentials to step in for his departed friend. Majerus' personality and stature as the face of the program will be a tougher act to follow. You can teach kids how to beat the full court press, but how do you fill his marketing shoes?
I probably don't. He's one of the princes of the profession, so I probably won't.
You played under and coached with another larger-than-life legend, Bobby Knight. What did you learn from him besides the X's and O's?
I got a question for you. Who played for him? So who's tougher, Coach Knight or the guys who played for him?
The guys who played for him.
Well, I like that. That's
right?
good. That's good.
Is that the right answer?
Yeah, I think that's a good answer.
You're sitting in a senior's room, you're in front of the kid's mom, and it's a really important kid to you. 30-second elevator speech. Why does that kid come to St. Louis?
I think St. Louis is very unique and special because it's a private, personalized education. And as you can see, an arena like this with fan support like it is, and you get that combination of 7,000 to 8,000 enrollment and a big time, and especially the cities that we play in the 8-10, there's probably not 10 schools in the country like that.
So with Jim Cruz on the sidelines, just across the court from naming donor and super fan Richard Chaffetz, the arena at St. Louis University should be rocking this season. Certainly the elements are in place for a strong performance in a quality conference and another run into March.
What would a national championship mean to this program and mean to you?
It would mean a lot to this program. It would mean even more to this community. This community is a tight-knit community that takes care of itself. St. Louis as a whole takes care of their own, and if we could bring that type of notoriety to this community, it would be great for all of us.
National championship trophy, we're fantasizing, maybe not much of a fantasy, and of course the coach gets it and then the players. Who gets it the next night? Which one of you two?
Rich can take it. It's all his. He helped make it happen.
I think we sit together and shake each other's hands, hug, and then touch the trophy.
When we return, a final word on SLU basketball. A word you don't often hear in college athletics.
I do believe the mission is evident in everything that we do, and we're never going to step away from that.
There is plenty of optimism here at St. Louis University, but plenty of uncertainty as well. Coach Rick Majerus' health has been a constant concern, and his death has shaken the entire community. The university president, Father Biondi, has been embroiled in controversy with faculty and student groups over academic policy and leadership issues. In times like these, it's fortunate that the athletic administration has a strong sense of institutional mission and a clear grasp of its priorities.
At the end of the day, St. Louis University has a brand that stands for quality, that stands for serving the community, and we're going to be here to help support that. Athletics happens to have a vehicle to bring a lot of people in and connect it, and so as we'll see at all of our events, we have the ability to bring people together and let them celebrate. Yeah. Let them celebrate an unbelievable institution. That's what we can do for St. Louis University, and that's what we strive to do every day. How can we bring more people together to really see the great things that are going on here?
I mean, we got great practice facility, got great arena, we got the TV package, we play in great cities, but the meat and potatoes of the education and building their foundation and future, that's what's the important thing.
I think you realize that when you're at an institution like St. Louis University, the mission of the university, the integrity by which you do your job, means you're not going to sway from that. And I really appreciate that, because I do believe the mission is evident in everything that we do.
The reason the Billikens play in this superb arena, a cornerstone of their basketball success, is because Richard Chaffetz followed through on a promise. That gives some credibility to the claim that this program is driven by the pursuit of principle as much as the chase for a championship.
The school academically was phenomenal for me, and if we could bring that recognition into a broader base and allow others to understand how good this school is, I think that's a win-win for everybody.
We want to compete with the best. It's all about putting those pieces around a group of young men and women to help them have a great experience. How are we putting the pieces around them to compete? And then how do we bring community together? You do it through ticket sales, you do it through sponsorship, you do it through fundraising. At the end of the day, it's about 18, 19, and 20-year-olds going out there and playing sport and then bringing a community together to do that. And we're thrilled with the position we're in, and we're very much looking forward to a big year.
We hope you enjoyed this inside look at college basketball at St. Louis University. Our thanks to Dr. Richard Chaffetz and all those at SLU who took the time to speak with us. For more basketball coverage and Sportfolio video, check out Bloomberg.com. I'm Rick Haro. Thanks for watching. See you next time.